to Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the Aflac Kickoff Classic, and we are excited to get this college football season underway. Hello and welcome to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, home of the Falcons here in Atlanta, Georgia. As we'll see the number 22 team in the country, the Tennessee Volunteers, taking on the 6th-ranked team in the land, the Oregon Ducks. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, here with David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get this thing rolling. The Ducks ready to put toe to leather and get this season started. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Ready to fire from the pistol. The give to the single back. Defense in the right spot. They stop him after a gain of 2 to the 28. Guys, let's take a minute here and look big picture for Tennessee. You start the season top 25. Clearly expectations are flying your way, but with that might come some roadblocks.
Well, I think you got to take every week and every opponent one at a time. The number beside your name doesn't matter right now. The number matters late in the season. So you want to start the season fast. You want to be gelling on offense and on defense. I think that's the challenge early here.
Absolutely. Figuring out who you are. Obviously some talented pieces, well thought of in the top 25, but a lot of season to go out and prove it. Day one, game one. Make that first impression.
Hey, man, if you're going to force incompletions when the QB's thrown to the tight end, you better be physical. Nice job with the hit, forcing that incompletion.
Didn't take long to need a clutch play on the opening drive. It's 3rd and 7. Back to pass, it's Aguilar. Fires to the middle. This time it's complete. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line. And the Volunteers will line it up on 1st and 10. Leaves it with the running back. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Back to pass. Just a short pass to the tight end. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few. This is the kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged, but when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about? Which conferences are better? You're going to get a lot of answers today.
Right down the middle. Finds a man on the left. Big play for this offense as they get it to the 32.
And listen, the defense knew coming into this one, they were going to target him early and often. He is a weapon, and there's no mystery where the quarterback's going to be looking on critical down and distances. Let's see how they're able to cover him throughout the rest of this game.
Not a lot of movement on that one. The defense in position.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Got 3 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 7. Looking for a man. It's Aguilar. Nice defensive play to get a hand in there and knock it away.
Man, you are rolling the dice every time you throw this guy's way. He is one of the best corners in the entire country. Everybody has their eye on him every single game. He does a great job breaking on that ball and forcing the incompletion.
Another incompletion on third down.
And I think on that last play, that's an example of the quarterback trying to predetermine who he wants to throw to, and instead of letting the defense dictate who gets the ball. Man coverage, that guy was not open that time out on the perimeter of the field. Still, he gave him a chance, but that thing had incompletion written all over it from the moment the ball left his hand. You're feeling really good about that, right? Brand new season, first drive of the year, the juices are flowing, you march the ball down the field. You don't get a touchdown, but at least you come away with 3 points. Very positive start to the year.
He'll bring it out. It's Gresham. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Might be changing the route. Toss sweep. Trying to get it outside to the right. Get some work done there. Pick up a 4 to the 22.
You know, I know that wasn't a big gainer, but that's going to set some stuff up later for this offense. Trying to run the football and get it established is huge because play-action pass is a big part of what they try to do when they're throwing the ball.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Moore to the air. Got rid of it quickly, but it's incomplete.
It seemed like there may have been a miscommunication there between the QB and receiver, just not on the same page.
Couldn't find his man last time, and that leaves him with a 3rd and 6. From the gun, wants to pass. Finds his big tight end. Gets it to the 46-yard line. First down for this offense.
And it's on third downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
This offensive line's got to do a better job. I mean, he doesn't even have time to go through his progressions. You've got to give your QB some time. You've got to make him feel comfortable. They didn't. They got in there quick, fast, and in a hurry.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. From the gun, running back on the move. Just a 1-yard gain leaves them with 3rd and 9.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Grab near the marker. It's Whittington. Really good surge for this offense. They move the chains, and he's got it at the 34.
This running back is a weapon. Not only is he going to hurt you in the run game, but they're going to throw it to him, and they're going to throw it to him on first down, second down, and third down, as you saw right there.
Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Fires to the wideout. It's caught downfield. He's brought down, but he's got him inside the 10. First and goal from the 8. The Ducks started this drive backed up in their own end, and now they've moved into position to score. They'll keep it on the ground for first and goal. He had all kinds of company as soon as he got it. He had to fight his way back just to get to the line of scrimmage.
You know, the one thing you can say about this defense, they pursue the football. The first guy might miss, the second guy might miss, but there's going to be more and more hats flying to the ball carrier. You saw it on that play, getting a tackle for loss.
Almost in, but they'll say he didn't make it inches away from the touchdown. Opening day, and might as well build a little drama with a 3rd and goal early. Trying to surge it in.
Diggs goes as he goes. So really no surprise on the opening drive. They keep feeding him the football. He showed you all of his ability on that TV.
Oh, they blocked the extra point. He's got it, and he can go with it. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. The 10. He takes it all the way back for the defensive two-point conversion.
I love the effort by the field goal unit. They don't just take the play off. They don't hang their heads. They rush the extra point. Look at that. Get their hand up, get a paw on it, pick it up, and take it all the way back for 2 points and gain some momentum for this defense.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Volunteer offense is back, and they hope it's touchdown time in Tennessee. Maybe they couldn't pay off that last drive with a touchdown.
Now, they moved the ball down the field and executed like they wanted to until they stalled out and had to settle for a field goal.
I think if you want to take the next step, too, here and score a touchdown, you got to start finding more creative ways to get your best players the ball. Let's see if they can do that here.
From the 39-yard line, it's 1st and 10. They're going to run it. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short.
Well, it's important in this game, this offense gets the running back involved out in the perimeter in space where he can do some damage. That time they got it to him throwing the football. He picked up a couple of yards, but it gives the defense something to think about.
They thought they could just run it on 3rd and short, but this defense was there to make the stop.
Goodness gracious, if you blinked, you missed it. Horrible blocking up front. Defender gets in there so fast.
Did he line up in the backfield? The Vols will punt it away on 4th down. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. Dumps it to the back. They'll stop him short, and they had it sniffed out from the beginning.
Well, they were trying to get clever. They thought they had the right look for that fake punt, but give the defense a lot of credit. They were expecting it.
And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. And what a drive that was the last time they had it. Basically the length of the field. Much better starting point this time.
I like the decision there in the RPO game too, guys. I know he only got a couple of yards, but that play's going to open up bigger opportunities throwing the football down the field in the RPO game too. So keep handing it off to this guy. Let him see what he can do. And when the defense gives you the look to hold the football and then finally throw it, that's when you take advantage.
Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. Moore will throw. Snagged in the middle. It's Benson. Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on first down. It's not just a dual threat guy. You go back to Dan Fouts or Bill Musgrave or even Justin Herbert, and passers not in short supply for the Ducks.
And when you think about the Ducks, you always think about the fancy uniforms. I think that's one of the first things that come to mind, but the guys you just named, it's been built on flash, but it's also been built on substance. Great players in their tradition, in their history, and just like now, just the recent history, Bo Nix, another one of those guys that's put up big numbers.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Looking to fire. Pocket breaking down. Now adjusting. He's going to run it. Guided out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 14.
I love fighting for extra yards, and I'm going to encourage every single one of my running backs, receivers, and tight ends to do it. Just not my quarterback. I really got to understand, listen, play's over, get down on the ground, don't take too many of those big shots.
Quarterback making adjustments. Time has expired here in the quarter, and Oregon has the lead. We've put one in the books. Let's have a look at our game summary. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. This offense had a little extra time to think about it. Let's see what they have on third down. Moore to the air. Makes the catch. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's first and goal from the 8.
Third down and short is exactly what you want on offense because you can run the football, make the defense suck up, but you can also throw it. Nice execution, third and short, now set up in a first and goal situation.
He's looking to throw. Lets it go to the end zone. Touchdown, Ducks! Quick strike through the air for the score.
And this quarterback really does a great job of seeing the defense, seeing what kind of coverage they're in. And I think when this offense goes empty and they spread the defense out, it just makes it so much more simple for the QB to see what the defense is doing pre-snap and then post-snap. You can tell he's playing in a great rhythm right now because he's seeing the field, and these empty sets are really helping him out.
Coming out with it, it's Dodson. Pulled down at the 18, and the decision to bring it out of the end zone was not a good one. Tennessee ready to go to work the Big Orange offense on the field. Motion from the wide receiver. Receiver on the move gets the touch pass. And he'll pick up one. It brings up 2nd and 9.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside, and David, it puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of his spot.
They stay aggressive and push their way out to the 33, and it's first down.
Watching this Tennessee running back, man, he just runs with so much purpose, and it reminds me of guys that I used to play against, Jamal Lewis and Travis Henry, two great ball running backs that used to really test the physicality of our Gator defenses in some of those great games we had back in the late 90s. This dude right here, man, he just wears you down every single carry.
They'll wrap him up, and he didn't find the same kind of running room this time as he did on the previous play.
Welcome to the frustrating reality of college football. Like, the guy at the quarterback spot, he can just do that. Pull it down, get positive yards, makes the defense have to account for him every single play.
Back to pass, it's Aguilar. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
What a hit by the defender. That's a good throw, and that was going to be caught, but how about the defender dislodging the football from its intended target? Nice job.
On third down, he drops to throw. Oh, he's going to take a shot at the DB. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in. And the Vols decide to punt it away. We assume he's going to punt it this time. He did complete a pass earlier. Waves the arm for the fair catch, and the catch is made close to the 30-yard line. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Took the last drive in for a touchdown. They'll try to do it again on this one. They'll go to the ground. And a 9-yard gain on first down leaves them with 2nd and short. All right, guys, let's think big picture for Oregon. Doesn't matter what time of season it is, a top 10 win is a top 10 win, and you know the underdogs would love to make a statement.
No doubt about it. When you've got a very low number beside your name, you're going to get everybody's best shot. And that's what this team is expecting from their opponent today. A lot of eyeballs watching this game, David. A lot of expectations on this team. Now it's time to see if they can deliver.
Yeah, and the offseason was so much more important when you know you're playing a highly ranked team to start the season. Attention to detail higher, excitement higher, a chance to go out and prove something very early in the season.
the Ducks come to the ball trying to pick up this third and short. Moore will throw. The sweet feet keeping the play alive. Wide open downfield. Man, this sophomore quarterback unleashed a cannon on that one. Third down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
Yeah, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched.
He lofts it high and deep down the left side. He's got it inside the 15. He was loose and setting sail, and they stop him at the 6-yard line.
And how about the big strike down the field? I love when offenses take shots down the field, try to make big plays. Now they're set up in the red zone.
They'll go to the air. Under fire. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
Timing has got to be so critical when you're trying to throw the ball down close like that. They didn't have great timing on that one.
And the D deny them on 2nd and goal. They'll send the back in motion. Second down, he'll throw it. Pressure coming. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17.
That's an area of the field the quarterback just cannot take a sack on. Second down, down inside the 5-yard line. If it's not open, you just got to throw it away. Because now you've backed yourself up even further. It's going to be even harder to throw this thing into the end zone or to score a touchdown. That's going to be a learning opportunity for this young man.
Can't make the grab, and this offense, which has been brilliant this season on third down, doesn't convert this time. And on 4th down, here comes the field goal unit. Just drives it between the uprights. And now the lead is extended a little further. So the kickoff team is out there ready to boot it away after putting up a field goal. Let's see what the defense can do. Fielded in the end zone. It's Dodson. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. So here is the Tennessee offense. They hope to be able to cash in on this drive, David, after having to punt it last time.
Yeah, and I think this offense needs to start it with the first play. You need to be successful and productive on that first play, and it gets you in less predictable situations.
No doubt, too. Don't you just feel like there's a little bit more sense of urgency on this drive? It just feels like they've got to be able to put some points up on the board here.
Back to throw, it's Aguilar. Gonna take a shot. And they can't hook up. Going for the big play on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Caught near the sticks. It's Matthews. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36. He might have expected to see this DB up in his receiver's kitchen. Instead, nice little zone, and they pick up the first.
Man, offenses are getting so good, Reese, at seeing the holes in the zone, knowing you're in zone, knowing where to sit down, how to make it an easy pitch and catch for the quarterback, and that's what it was on 3rd and short.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Wants to go up top. And his throw is incomplete. It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Here comes the rush, and they've got him wrapped up at the 28.
Pretty nice as a defense, right? When you can go nickel, put 5 DBs on the field and not have to blitz anyone, trusting your front 4 to get the job done on 3rd down, and they do it right there, getting the sack.
And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Moore to the air. Unloads to the wideout. Catch in the middle. It's Benson. We're at the 2-minute timeout. They've built a big lead, and they'll try to pile on a little more before the break. Now they'll line it up from the 44 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. Sends it downfield. Snags it inside the 20. He's finally stopped and brought down at the 15. And after that pitch and catch, he's already over 200 yards, and we're in the first half, Jesse.
Man, Reese, he's dialed in right now. He's really doing a nice job seeing the field, reading coverages, and finding his open guy.
One man in the backfield, and he gets it. Oh, it's a fumble. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover.
You've got to have better ball security on offense. The football possession, that is priceless. Losing possession, turning the ball over, that kills you in games. That loses games. And that is a bad, bad play at a bad time.
This drive will start at the 6-yard line. The give from the gun. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
This offense has really struggled, and I think you're just waiting for one play, one explosive play to happen to hopefully galvanize you a bit offensively. That's not the case, and there they try to run the football in the first play of the drive, and it gets absolutely blown up for a loss.
Got a man. It's Staley. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the 1st down marker. IndyCar tempo as they head to the line for this 3rd down play. Clock running. Quickly to the tight end. Big pickup before he goes out of bounds, but there is a flag. We'll have to see if it stands. So the offense, more than happy with the result of the play, will decline the penalty. As a defense, you hate to let them move the chains on a penalty, but that's what they did. It's 1st and 10. Wants to throw. It's Aguilar. Throws to the wideout. Grabbed in the middle. It's Matthews. Great pickup as they'll keep this drive moving, and they've got it at the 45.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make sure that he got it.
And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44.
Oftentimes with play action, you're asking the quarterback to hold on to the ball a bit longer, and you're asking this offensive line to hold up and pass pro a bit longer. Against this athletic front seven on defense, it's going to be tough.
Oh, they're after him. Going for it all. Ball into the end zone, and it's intercepted. Way too much grabbing and tugging there. No way the official's going to miss that one. The Volunteers have it with a 1st and 10. To the air on 1st down. Pulls it in. He's stopped at the 40, but it'll be a 1st down here late in the half.
That wide receiver on the outside is dangerous. When you're playing zone coverage, it's really hard because you're not chasing him. You can't really get hands on him. You got to make sure you send more guys his direction. Maybe slide those linebackers toward that wide receiver so you got a little more help on the outside.
We got a timeout here late in the 1st half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Moving closer to the red zone, it's at the 27 on 1st down. Looking to throw on 1st down. Makes the catch. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown ball.
And that was great execution on that drive. That is exactly what you needed. You took almost all of the time, and you cut into this lead. Now you're about to go into the half, get everybody excited, use that momentum to start the 2nd half.
returner's going to try to see what he can get. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Waning seconds of the first half. Let's see just how aggressive they'll be. The run from the shotgun. They needed to find enough space and get it moving forward, and they're up to the 22. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. Rides to the back. They make the stop, and that is the end of the first half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update. They're lined up and ready to kick off this second half. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. They had this lead to start the third quarter because of the passing game. Didn't get a lot done on the ground.
They did, but the quarterback is in a rhythm. That was obvious in the first half. And so this first drive, you want to continue that. You want to see good decision-making. You want to see him playing on time. And as always, delivering the football with that.
I mean, I don't know how I don't give him the football. It's the reason I built the lead. He's the guy that I can trust. This offense is built around him. So I expect more of the same here in the second half.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Moore will throw. Looking to scramble. On the run, deep down the right side. Breaks into the open. And that tackle almost certainly saved a touchdown after he ripped off a huge gain. What a nice throw there, just carving up the defense. You make these types of passes downfield, and reminds me of Justin Herbert just carving up Arizona State for nearly 5 bills.
Yeah, just making big plays in the passing game. This offense is built on the run. It always has been. It always will be. That's what the Ducks hang their hat on, but making those explosive plays down the field when the defense slips up and loses a little bit of eye discipline.
This is going to be a key that we look at this entire game. How can this defense find ways to affect this quarterback and get pressure on him? Because they felt coming into the game, if they could do that, they could affect him and influence this passing game.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Trying play action. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Well, nice job by the defense here in back-to-back plays. 2 straight incompletions, giving up some yards, and the opponent's in field goal range. This is a place a lot of D coordinators like to send the blitz. Because if you sack the quarterback and create a negative play, you knock them out of field goal range.
This drive was clicking along, but after a couple of misfires, threatening to stall out on 3rd and 10. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Just keeps slinging it. Got his man. And he'll go out of bounds, and this aerial attack just continues to carve this defense into tiny slices.
I really like this offense staying aggressive. They were in field goal range, but nice job on 3rd down. Forget that. Let's go get the 1st down. Let's throw the football. Nice read, nice catch. Now set up with a 1st and goal situation.
Barges ahead. And they can't punch it in with a 1st down run, and the defense has 1 stop.
Well, they're trying to run the football there, just nowhere to go. They got dominated up front at the point of attack.
Looking for just 1 more yard. It's 2nd and goal. Quarterback moving. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Oregon! The offense strikes again to extend its lead here in the second half.
And they got everything working. How great is this? You extend your lead. Now you get your defense back on the field. Great job taking advantage of the situation. building on that lead.
The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Gentlemen, all the talk this week. Let's find out how things are playing out in this top 5 duel. Ohio State is currently ahead in this one, but they're not exactly putting the Buckeye leaves on those helmets just yet. This is a tight one in Columbus. They're up by a field goal over Texas. We'll circle back if anything changes in this contested top 5 matchup. Fellas?
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. The Volunteer offense is back, and they hope it's touchdown time in Tennessee. There's certainly still a hill to climb, but they've got to make sure these drives pay off. Got to touch. Going for the big play. Grabs it at the 25 in stride. He flips his field in an instant, and he's got him set up at the 20.
And that receiver had nobody around. That has got to be embarrassing for the defense. When you let someone that deep downfield go completely uncovered.
The give to the back. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe, 2nd and 7.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down, and they got to keep that up here in the second half.
He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity.
And those plays from a defensive perspective, man, they're just super annoying because now I'm in the worst spot ever. 3rd and manageable. Like, I don't know if you're passing, don't know if you're running. So, nice job by this offense keeping this defense.
And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. A methodical drive that they finish off by tossing it to the tight end.
And the tight end, I tell you what, this is a position that's evolved so much, right? And you see him move all over the field. It's kind of like, where is Waldo? You got to find this big fella, especially down in the red zone area. This is the guy they're going to target or make the big play, get the touchdown.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. That lead has dwindled down to 3 now to see if they have a response. Oh, did he find a hole in the defense? He's into plus territory, knocked out of bounds after the nice game. Mark it at the 47. You always have to be aware of the running threat from the Oregon quarterbacks, but here getting business done through the air.
No doubt, Reese, because you're worried about his legs, the read game, all the stuff they can do. It opens up the passing attack. And I think when you've seen the Ducks teams throughout history, the ones that have enough balance to keep you off guard, keep you guessing, are the ones that are the best teams.
Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
There he goes. Finally corralled but not before. He picks up the first down.
And busting big runs like this, we always talk about the running backs, but it's the big boys up front, paving their lanes, those receivers gluing on those DBs that make these plays really go for big yardage.
And how about those receivers? Not just the glamour of catching passes, but doing some dirty work, too.
No doubt. When they get on those guys in the second level and get on those DBs, that's when you break those big, long runs.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Off the play fake. Got it in the middle. It's Hughes. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on it.
Ball's at the 22. Third and short coming. Can the defense force him to settle for a field goal? Moore to the air. Grab near the marker. It's Davison. Picks up enough to give them 1st and 10 from the 13.
Nice job by the running back, catching the football and understanding where the first down marker was. I got to go get that first down. Did a nice job of it.
Trying to beat him to the corner on the right. They get him stopped, but those feet kept moving until he was down to the 5.
That's a big key for this offense. Now, you've got the lead here in the second half. You want to run the football. You've got to just keep getting positive yards. You've got to keep the third downs manageable so you can stay on the field, bleed the clock. That's going to be the key for this offense and their team winning the game.
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Ducks! The offense flexes its muscle a bit and widens the gap.
Take a little exhale. You know, you did your job. You got points. Now you put your defense in a position where, hey, go out and get another stop. We're in great shape, so the offense definitely taking care of their business.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Tennessee ready to go to work the Big Orange offense on the field. Last time they had it, they took it down the field for a touchdown. They can build some... And that ball's free behind the line. Defense grabs the football, and there he goes. Touchdown, Oregon. This defense making... Big play and putting it in the end zone.
You know, the one thing that really worries head coaches coming into week 1 is ball security. You're worried about execution. This offense has done some good things early in this game, but you cannot put the ball on the ground because the defense will make you pay like they did right there, taking it all the way to the house.
Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Dropping back. It's Aguilar. Rushes on him. Hit as he throws. Missed his receiver there. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks need time when they're in the pocket to complete throws. That QB had no shot after taking that hit.
And this offense can ill afford to come up empty on this drive, already trailing by multiple possessions. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the missed timing.
And that's a play on 3rd down. This offense just has to do a better job protecting their quarterback. Give him a split second more time to complete that throw, but they couldn't do it there.
Hunt is on its way. He'll settle for some pretty good field position and make the fair catch at around the 35. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. How about the way they attacked the last time they had the ball, mixing run and pass and winding up in the end zone, Jesse?
That's why recruiting is so important. They've got weapons at every skill position on the field. Any of these guys is dangerous if they touch the football. Let's see what they do on this drive, David.
And so, Palmer, I got to take away something. I can't let them have everything and have success. I got to be aggressive against the run or play for the pass. I can't give them everything.
After the productive 1st down play, it's 2nd and 6. Making side adjustments here. They go to the ground. Got the 1st down. Looking for more. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the 3rd quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
Off the play fake on 1st down, wants to throw. showing the arm strength down the left side. And he's got it inside the 20.
The defense has got to be able to make a play at some point here in the second half. You're down 2 possessions. You need to steal a possession badly. You need to have a takeaway. The coverage is going to have to be way tighter than on that last throw. Otherwise, this offense is just going to go up and down the field.
They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion.
Well, it's a nice job, too, of the quarterback after the play fake there, getting his eyes down the field. He had to get that to his tight end quickly, knowing he wasn't going to have a lot of space to run with after the catch.
To the ground with the back. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in.
And these RPOs always put the defense in a bind. But listen, you give up the run, they get a short little gain, no harm, no foul.
Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big third down in the red. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Ducks!
Wow, this offense, they have a lot of faith in this running back. Knowing if they get down in this area of the field, he can get it done and he can answer the bell. 2 rushing touchdowns already for this offense.
Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. He'll bring it out. It's Dodson. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. They'll try to put a drive together, starting from their own 12. Motion from the wideout. Looking downfield, it's Aguilar. Got it set up on the outside. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never developed.
Yeah, and you're going to see this offense find different ways to get this running back involved. It's not just going to be on handoffs, and they're certainly going to line him up in different places and even throw him the football. But the screen game's a big part of it, too. They're trying to get him going there.
Got his man on the right. Really needed a play like that to get out of their own end. They move the chains. They mark it at the 29. These 2 quarterbacks have produced as we check out their numbers after 3. One more period to go, and we'll see just how much fight they've got left in them. They go back to work in the final period of this one. Off the play fake on first down. He's taking the shot. Pulls it in down the sideline. And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before he's finally stopped. And the Volunteers will have it first and 10. Trying to hit the sideline on the right. Moves it forward just a bit, a pickup of 1 to the 35.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Unloads it downfield. And it's incomplete, going for the massive, explosive play instead. They're looking at a third down.
The defense is in great position right now because they've got a huge lead here in the 4th quarter. They know the offense has to take shots to try to get themselves back in the game. So they're calling their coverages accordingly, and there was nowhere to go with that football. Really nice job by the defense.
And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. The offense very fortunate to get that ball back.
That ball carrier is very lucky. That easily could have ended up in the hands of the defense. You have got to do a better job with ball security.
He'll take a shot. Touchdown, Volunteer! They took a shot to the end zone and found 6 points waiting on them.
And how about that? His 2nd receiving touchdown of the ball game. Find ways to get your athletes the ball. They'll do the rest. That's number 2. They better start playing some better defense. Number 3's coming soon.
So after getting into the end zone on that last drive, they're set to kick it away. no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. On that last drive, defense had no idea what was happening. Run or pass, and it wound up in the end zone, Jesse.
Yeah, you saw the experience in this offense that last drive, too, on that touchdown. Everybody on the same page. These guys have repped these plays over and over in practice and in games, and it's working.
Yeah, so I got to find a way to disrupt it. I got to find a way to maybe be more aggressive, maybe blitz, mess up this rhythm they got going.
And here's the pick, and oh, did they need that right now.
Look, big-time playmakers make big plays in big games. That guy needed to make that interception at this critical juncture of the game. There's still time for them to go out and win it. Could that be the play that sparks this team?
They'll run it out of the shotgun. He breaks a tackle. Getting work done on the ground. He's pulled down at the 14-yard line. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. To throw, it's Aguilar. Grab near the sticks, it's Matthews. Touchdown ball! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. He has been surgical. Precision passes, using the scalpel, the fine instrument, rather than the blunt one.
The defense has had absolutely no answer for him. Just, he's been down their throats all game long, a step ahead, understanding what he's seeing, and just destroying this defense.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. One of the most valuable things a quarterback can have, David, short-term memory. Just forget that last pick.
You're dang right. Clear the mechanism. It's over and move it behind. Some players can't do that real well, and it leads to more mistakes, Jesse. You got to just forget about it and move on.
And I think the coaching staff can help him too, David. I think you can get the running game going here and also give him some easy throws.
They came out hot on this drive. One play and already near midfield. Looking downfield on first down. Boy, did that one have revolutions on it, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his...
Time to take a shot. Grabs it inside the 15. Touchdown, Oregon. He got loose, and it was lights out after that.
Sometimes it's players, not plays, or sometimes it's both. And when you got that guy and you put him in the slot and you let him burn for a go route right past a nickel corner or one of the reserve corners or a safety, that's a great job by the offense, and that speed you can't teach, and that's why he's in the house for 6.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. So here is the Tennessee offense. Not the day they had hoped to have, but when you are a ranked team, you are going to get everyone's best shot. And now let's see if they can pull this one out. Got it in the middle, it's Matthews. And he gets it up to the 36. It'll be a first down.
This is the moment for this offense to put a drive together. It doesn't matter what's happened up to the point of this game, but you're trailing right now. You've got to put some points up on the board. This is where all 11 guys need to be playing together as one.
Can't hold on. He had him right down the middle, and he flat dropped it.
Well, it was a good throw. It was a good route, but it was the hit that forced that incompletion.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Looking to throw, it's Aguilar. Throws for the tight end. Pulls it in. The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground at the 41. The Vols getting set on 1st and 10. Wants to throw again. Good timing on the quick out. They'll ride him out of bounds. That's the good pickup, spotted at the 25-yard line. They built this offense around finding mismatches and just get the ball to the back and let him do his thing.
Yeah, it didn't have to be long down the field. Like it threw it right near the line of scrimmage, but you...
Lets it fly deep downfield. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on.
The offense has got to find something here in the fourth quarter. You can tell, pressing a little bit. They need that big play. They want that big play to try to make this game a better ball game.
Oh, he's got some space. He goes out of bounds right at the 10-yard line, and the offense can smell the touchdown from here. They've moved it into scoring territory, 1st and 10 from the 11. Wants to throw on 1st down. He's got it on the run. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee.
You know, quarterbacks and receivers, they develop confidence and chemistry as the game goes on. These two right now are definitely on the same page.
Now to make sure this kickoff team covers properly to pay off that last scoring drive. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. They'll run it from the gun. Surges across the 30, out to the 32, a 6-yard run.
Well, the offense has the lead, and we call this 4-minute offense. This is a situation that teams around the country practice, having the lead late in the game and needing to ice it by running the football and throwing high-percentage passes.
The Ducks in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Caught, close to the marker, it's Davison. They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49.
How about this offense, man? You got to love it. Late in the fourth quarter, you have the lead. They don't get conservative. Staying balanced. Run, back it up with a pass, getting the 1st down, a few more 1st downs, and you can walk out of here with a dub.
Moore will throw. That's wheeled in. It's Stewart. Turning it on. And he'll be tackled, but there is a flag on the field. A very productive play until it was wiped out by that penalty, and they'll go back to work. First down for this offense. They'll run it, trying to drain time off the clock. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
And this defense has got to make a play, right? It's the fourth quarter. We're trailing. You know this offense, they're going to get conservative. They want to eat that clock. You got to bring more guys to the line of scrimmage. Got to make plays. Got to get that football back.
Makes the grab. It's Moore. Quick step and go. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the 1st down.
I think most offenses around the country in a situation like this with the lead late would be trying to run the football, right, or throw it short and try to bleed the clock. But this offense, man, it's still pedal to the metal. They're looking for chunk play opportunities.
They'll put the brakes on him at the 21, give him a yard.
Well, this offense thinks that they have enough left in the tank here to run the football and run all the time off the clock. They got the lead late. Didn't get the 1st down on that last one, but it's not going to surprise anybody if they turn around and hand it off again here.
Punch it out of the air. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the 1st down.
And I love when my quarterback sees zoned and knows exactly where to go with the football. Sees the wide receiver running the drag route, knows when to throw it, pulls the trigger for the easy completion.
The Ducks are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Moore to the air. Steps away. And they did not let him get to that 1st down line. It'll bring up a call here.
Well, it's a really nice job there on that 3rd down, trying to get after this quarterback. And obviously they're not able to make the play in the backfield, but Really nice job pursuing. You see the athleticism and the speed they have, how they play as a unit together. Only giving up a little bit of a gain and now setting up fourth down.
The clock winds down to the 2-minute timeout, and this offense will try to drain away the time and secure the victory. They have the lead in a one-possession game, but they're thinking deliver the knockout blow, but this carries big-time risk on fourth down. He's got it, and more than enough for a first down. And he's got it for the touchdown, and that one just might do it.
And, you know, late in the games, offenses sometimes get conservative when they got the lead and they got the ball. I love this offense. They were aggressive. They got another score added to the lead. Now you're trying to salt this game away.
The ball squirts through the end zone. That'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Going right to work up top. Setting up the screen. Breaks into the open. Across the 50-yard line on the huge pickup, and he's out of bounds at the 45.
Well, this offense has a ton of work left ahead of them here in this 2-minute situation late in the game, but the drive off to a good start. Get the first down, you get out of bounds, you work in the perimeter of the field. That is exactly what you want to do.
Grabbed over the middle. It's Jefferson. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. Dropping back, it's Aguilar. Here's a heat. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And the quarterback gets hit again. We already know this defense has gotten home to him multiple times in this game. So here you are, you're trailing in the game. Defense knows you're going to throw it. They're pinning their ears back. You can't feel very confident right now through the play caller, certainly through the quarterback, that you're going to have time to throw.
Got his man downfield.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on third down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
He'll step out of bounds at about the 11.
Well, you can tell those two have been practicing the out route all off-season long. They look like they could have completed that in their sleep.
Let's it fly. This is caught for the Ray touchdown, so let's not put this one to bed just yet.
Well, the good news is you scored a touchdown. You've made this a one-possession game. The bad news is you got to get the ball back. So if you're the head coach, you got to start thinking, how are we going to do that? Are we going onside kick, or do we trust our defense to give it back to the O?
They got the touchdown they needed. Now trailing by a field goal, they'll line up for the onside kick. Not much drives more anxiety than waiting to see if the hands team can corral the onside kick, and they do. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. All right, this game just got tighter, and you just don't want to make a mistake here, David.
Especially in the fourth quarter. Remember, you're still leading this ball game. You're still going to execute the same way, Palmer. Don't get frantic.
Don't get frantic, but I would like to see them stay.
And he eluded the defense, and they'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Ducks!
And it was so important for the offense to come up with a touchdown there and not kick a field goal. You're trying to put this thing out of reach. And that touchdown puts so much pressure on their opponent now with less than 2 minutes to go.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Guys, back to your game in a moment, but first we have to show you how the script is being written here. Tulane has the lead right now, but they just haven't been able to separate themselves yet inside Yulman Stadium. They're up by 11 over Northwestern. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business. Gentlemen?
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. To the air, it's Aguilar. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down.
And this is a tough time for this offense because you're in passing mode. You're in comeback mode. And what is that? The defense knows that. Like, they're pinning their ears back. They're coming after the quarterback. And you've already...
Looking for a deep man. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover.
Well, man, we've seen explosive offensive firepower all game long, and here we are late in an obvious passing situation trying to get this thing close. The big INT. Finally, the defense makes a play, and David, it looks like they just closed the door on this one.
Well, and you know, Mr. Quarterback, defense wins championships. And how do you seal a game? The defense coming up with a big moment. Yes, obvious passing situation. You know they're going to throw it. The big INT, and that might seal their fate.